Now,
Absolutely.
in the end, this comes down to leadership and the right person to be the president of the United States. In the case of Ben Carson's comments, the National Executive Director of CAIR, the Council on American-Islamic Relations, wasted no time, called for Carson to immediately withdraw from the race. You heard that. It's not going to happen. Let's welcome back from CAIR, Florida, to get his comments. Nezar Hamze joins us here in the studio. I asked this of the other gentleman. I'm going to ask this to you. Your immediate reaction when you heard Ben Carson say this?
A bunch of malarkey. Complete, absolutely malarkey. Is the most anti-American statement that I have heard.
You're being soft on malarkey, though, aren't you? You want to go a lot stronger.
I can't say what, we're on national TV, Ed. I'm going to talk to you about from a couple different angles.
Okay.
Let's talk about from a law enforcement, public safety, and national security perspective. What do you think the terrorists are telling the people they're recruiting? They're telling the American people exactly what Ben Carson just told the American people, word for word. Muslims can never be part of the American public. Muslims can never be part of the governing, and America doesn't want you. Get away. This is what's happening. Do you understand?
Is this then, I got to stop you there because you're onto something here. But is this then, as I said at the beginning of this segment, in your opinion, driving people to the Democrats that will drive them away from the Republicans, and this will hurt the effort more than help?
Absolutely. Listen. America is sick and tired of the bigotry and the division and calling people and dividing and trying to segregate different parts of the community. Listen, how do you think millions of Americans, let's just talk about American Muslim children that are in school learning about what the requirements are to be president. You probably had a dream to be an American president when you were a kid. So did I. What do you think they're going to think when they hear Ben Carson saying Muslims can never be president? That is absolutely absurd.
Is it hate speech what Ben Carson said?
I don't care what he thinks.
Well, no,
it is.
I don't want to say it in a literal sense, but does it then foment a thinking of hate?
It's irresponsible, and people that talk like that cannot be the commander-in-chief of our military.
But then why does
lead
it exist? Why does it still exist then? Because you've been on this program many times, and you're the one who stands up for Muslims and says, not all Muslims believe in this. We are not evil people. How do you then stop people from believing that every Muslim is evil and wants to blow down a building?
Ed, listen.
I know it's a long issue.
I know. The reality is, the hard, cold reality is the American Muslim population contributes to this society. They respect the law of the land, and they are absolutely trying to be good Americans. And people like Ben Carson, for someone as educated as him, to say such an ignorant and stupid thing is completely unacceptable, and that's proof that he can't be president. Why do Muslims have to prove that they're American? Listen, there are American Muslim law enforcement officers, there are American Muslim doctors, there are American Muslims are all over the United States contributing.
American Muslims who have served proudly in the military.
I have good friends that are Navy JAGs, that are in the Army. They're American Muslims. American Muslims are here. They're part of the fabric of this society, and that comment is not warranted. And it's very disappointing to hear him say that.
We do want to point out, too, that if people have read the Constitution, in Article 6 of the Constitution, it specifically states no religious test shall ever be required as a qualification to any office or public trust under the United States. Does that not pretty much end the conversation there?
From a civil rights perspective, absolutely, conversation's over. Absolutely.
So where do we go from here? And I know I keep asking you this, but then we get Donald Trump who comes out and says what he says. And here's another issue. He says, I don't have to defend the president of the United States, but he basically lets a comment go that makes people believe the president is a Muslim. Where do we go?
What difference does it make if the president is Muslim? He's clearly said he's not Muslim. We know that. He said it many times. But why is that something that keeps coming up? What difference does it make if President Obama is a Muslim?
Are these people, in your opinion, then, guys like Donald Trump? You mentioned a couple of words of Ben Carson. Can we call Donald Trump, then, in your opinion, ignorant and stupid as well?
Definitely Donald Trump is not stupid. And however, he's a fantastic sensationalizer, and he knows how to grab the media. And that's what he's doing. I don't have much to say about Donald Trump because he's good for business.
But is he an ignorant individual?
He's not ignorant.
Is he driving hate?
He's irresponsible. If he's making comments that he's not sticking up for the Muslim community, he's being irresponsible. And someone like Donald Trump can really change the tone of the American people when it comes to accepting and letting Muslims be part of society.
We'll end it there. Thanks so much, my friend. It's always a pleasure to see you. Thanks for joining us. Coming up next, Carson stays, Scott Walker's leaving. Next on The Hard Line.